everybody, welcome back to the Figures and Flippy Shit podcast. I'm Susan and this is Chris, where it is the husband and wife duo talking about wrestling. So, let's get started.
Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about today that I have noted is I want to talk about the Judgment Day. And I know we both listed the Judgment Day that we wanted to talk about. We listed for two different reasons. So we'll start with your reason for wanting to discuss the Judgment Day that you had noted.
I just love the Judgment Day, honestly. I don't really understand when JD McDonough got in the Judgment Day. I feel like, because wasn't it just like last week or something where like Damian Priest, right? Wasn't it Damian, like him and Damian Priest were beefing. But now JD's part of the Judgment Day and Damian Priest is fine with them. So I don't know.
It does seem kind of sudden that all of a sudden Priest was cool with him.
Yeah.
Like, my guess is because Priest got his tag titles back, so he's fine now.
Maybe. I wonder if it also ties into like Rhea Ripley being like the leader, and Rhea was like very much on board with him from the get-go, maybe.
That could be.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't know. My thing with the Judgment Day is, to me, watching a Judgment Day match right now is no different than watching a Roman Reigns Bloodline match. I know exactly what's going to happen. I'm bored of their matches. I have no investment in it because they win by the same way every single time. We don't do anything different with it. So the Judgment Day is kind of getting stale for me.
I still love them. I would take them over the Bloodline any day of the
Plus,
week.
like, it was interesting whenever, like, I'm not sure what they want to do. It seems like the Judgment Day fights for a little bit, and then they're fine, and then they find something else to fight over, and then they're fine. Like,
I think it's just them teasing a breakup eventually.
I don't know. I'm really... I find myself tuning out a lot in their matches anymore because I feel like I know exactly how it's going to go.
I mean, that's fine with Bloodline matches. Anytime, I mean, on the rare occasion that Roman shows up for work, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
But I still love the Judgment Day.
Yeah, I mean,
I wish that they would book Rhea Ripley a little bit better, have her actually fight against, like, actual competitors. Well,
she has that 5-way match at Crown Jewel.
True. But they don't really do that for her that often.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like with her setup at Crown Jewel, it's kind of, we haven't had her defend against anybody for a while, so let's just have her defend against all 5 of these people at once.
Yeah.
And then those 5 are done. Like, that's kind of what it feels like to me. It kind of feels like, instead of booking her for individual feuds with these women, that it's just like, let's just take care of all of them at once, and then we can move on.
Yeah.
So it feels kind of like a rush job. I feel like, well, I have Crown Jewel predictions later. We'll talk about this later.
Okay.
But overall, the Judgment Day is just kind of getting, I know what I'm getting every week.
In your opinion, yeah.
Yeah. But it's the same way that you feel about the Bloodline. But see, for me, the difference is, and this is going to sound like a really bizarre criticism in comparison. It's going to sound very bizarre. But the Judgment Day also is stale for me because they're all there all the time. And we're telling the same thing is going down in every match. Roman's not always with the Bloodline, but whenever he does come back, usually something interesting happens. Like, it's kind of like the Bloodline goes on filler mode until his next appearance.
I kind of feel like the Judgment Day is kind of on filler mode until Damian Priest cashes in his briefcase.
I get that feeling too.
Like, they keep teasing it, and I love the tease, but I'm very ready to just do it already now.
Yeah. I could see Priest cashing in at WrestleMania on whoever beats Roman.
Yeah.
That's what I see happening. And it's probably going to be Cody.
Yeah.
And Priest and Cody are fighting at Crown Jewel. Are we going to keep that going for 6 months? My mind tells me, no, that's a long time. But then what also makes the Judgment Day stale for me is I feel like the Judgment Day has been fighting Sami Zayn since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
And Sami Zayn mentioned in his promo, he said for the last 6 months, and I was like, Jesus, this is not a feud that needs to go 6 months. Christ, Cody and Roman feuded for 2.
Yeah.
Like I love Sami Zayn. But Sami Zayn is fighting Dominic Mysterio on the pre-show for Crown Jewel, and I'm so over this. Like, I want the Judgment Day to do something different. Like,
yeah.
And I understand you want to keep them with the main event players because they're a main event staple, but, elevate somebody else to their level. Like, I feel like it's been Sami and Cody forever and ever. Mm-hmm. And I'm ready for the Judgment Day to do something different.
Yeah.
And I'm ready for them to win matches in different ways. Like, It's been freaking 4 months of this at this point. And it's the same criticism for Roman. Roman's matches are always the same way. Ref goes down, Bloodline interferes, Roman Spear, win. This is the same thing. Any Judgment Day team, JD gets involved. He gets ousted. Rhea gets involved. Rhea can't get any comeuppance because she's female. So she gets away with what she's doing. Cracks somebody on the head with a belt. Pin. 1, 2, 3.
See,
Same
I thought they were
week.
with remember whenever they brought Mia Yim in, and they made it seem like she was going to be an opponent for Rhea?
Yeah.
And then
and now they've forgotten that AJ Styles and his group exists.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I saw a lot of people saying that they wish that LA Knight would have been Roman's feud for the Rumble, and that it would have been AJ Styles for Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
And I thought that's kind of the direction they were going to head. Now, I don't know if AJ Styles is hurt. I haven't heard anything on that. So maybe that's what caused that to happen. But yeah, I understand that you love the Bloodline. I love them all individually, but it's getting a little old for me at this point.
Yeah.
And I think it's the combination of their match finish is always the same, and they feud with the same people all the time. Like, at least the Bloodline's been feuding with different people.
See, that's kind of my beef with, Cody Rhodes. His gimmick, his promos are the same thing. Mm-hmm. You love Cody Rhodes, and he does the same thing every single time he's on TV. Yes, but
I think it's because Cody is essentially a Roman Reigns that shows up. Like, he feels like a big deal.
But he does the same thing, which is your beef with the Judgment Day. I can literally tell you what his promos will be before I even hear his promo.
Yeah, but I think there's a difference in somebody having the same goal for a set period of time than their matches all going the same way.
I mean, that's your opinion, but yeah, because Cody Rhodes is getting boring for me personally, because it's because every time he comes on the screen, I'm like, I can tell you what he's going to say, Chris.
Yeah. I mean, I think Cody just needs to beat Roman so he can move forward. Yeah. So we can see what's next for him. Mm-hmm. I don't understand why we didn't just run Roman and Cody back at SummerSlam and end things there.
Because they're all about the title reign for Roman Reigns, even though he's never there to defend it. They are so focused on that. They are,
and I worry that the higher that reign gets, the more tempted WWE is going to be like, oh, he can pass this person. Like, if he holds it till, if he loses it at Mania, he'll fall just short of Hulk Hogan's title reign. And there's a lot of people thinking that WWE might not be able to resist just having him break Hogan's reign too.
Oh, they probably won't be able to.
And I've seen people say that they're worried that WWE is going to think they're going to milk it enough that Cody and Roman's going to become a trilogy over 3 WrestleManias, and I just don't think it has enough power for that.
Yeah.
It's barely going to chug to the finish line of WrestleMania 40 unless something major happens.
Yeah.
LA Knight's a fun detour, and I love LA Knight, but he's just a detour.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to cover with the Judgment Day. It's a little stale for me right now. I'd like to see it change up a little bit. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is we're starting to shape up the Full Gear card for Full Gear on November 18th.
Mm-hmm. For
and
AEW.
So far for AEW, yes. And so far the matches announced. We have Jay White versus MJF for the world championship,
which will be fun. I like the feud that they're building. I really like Bullet Club Gold.
You've been a fan of Bullet Club Gold for a while.
Minus Jay White's
spittle beard,
spit in his beard after matches, but yeah, because it just clings and it's just so gross.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But we also have the Women's World Championship, which is Hikaru Shida versus Toni Storm.
Oh, that'll be fun. I'm loving timeless Toni Storm.
We have the International Championship between Orange Cassidy and Jon Moxley. We have Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne against Sting, Darby Allin, and Adam Copeland.
I just love Christian.
And Hangman versus Swerve 2. Don't get me wrong, this seems like a fun card, but I'm also seeing a lot of repetitiveness here.
Because my first thought, while I love MJF and Jay White together, we have seen that a lot. But I get they haven't wrestled. They haven't wrestled.
They haven't wrestled one-on-one yet. I'm fine with them.
Oh.
I am fine with them.
Well,
they haven't wrestled one-on-one.
They've actually built this feud though too.
Yeah, it's to the point where we have 2 weeks to go to Full Gear, and I'm not sure what else they can do.
Oh, I'm sure
because they have
Juice Robinson,
but he's already beat Juice. They wrestled for the Diamond Ring.
But you have Juice Robinson who can do something in these 2 weeks.
Well, I just I'm wondering how we only got 2 more weeks to go, and I feel like we've kind of done everything we can. I don't know what the next 2 weeks are going to look like. They don't have to do anything.
They can just stare at each other and build it.
Yeah, but
you're so picky.
I'm fine with their match. It's everything else that feels repetitive. Now, Hangman and Swerve, I love both of them. It's going to be a great match. I've seen it. Sheeta and Toni Storm.
Only once before.
Yeah, but
it's only their second time.
I know, but
But you're okay with trilogy sometimes? But you're not okay with them wrestling for a second time?
I mean,
and they've built a storyline. Swerve broke into Hangman's house.
If they give it
Hangman literally left his match.
If they give it a stipulation, it'll be fine. But I think for me, the reason that it bothers me more in AEW is because I'm actually paying a lot of money to watch AEW's pay-per-views, and I feel like I'm paying to watch matches I've already seen.
Okay. But I just want to reiterate again, there's many times on their pay-per-views where they have the trilogy ends, and you're okay with that. This is just their second time wrestling, and there's actually been a build for this. So I just don't understand why you wouldn't be okay with the second match, because they've actually been building for this match. It's not just a random match they're putting out, for the second time they're doing this. There's actually been a feud and a build up to this.
There has.
Hangman literally lost his title with the Bucks because Swerve came out and he ran away and left his match. There's definitely a build up.
There is, but I don't know. I don't know why I'm being picky with AEW right now. I don't know why I'm picking on them.
I don't know. But I don't see the big deal. If it would have just been a random match where they're the second match, you were going to get Swerve and Hangman, I'd be like, why? But they've actually been feuding this whole time.
Okay. I see.
Did I change your opinion?
I see your point. Now, with Toni Storm and Hikaru Shida.
Yeah.
It seems like Toni Storm just got a match out of left field. All of a sudden they were just it's Toni Storm's quest for gold in LA. And it's cool. What'd she do to earn it? What did she do?
Okay, in this defense also, she's literally interrupted Sheeta's matches 3 times with her Tony Stone.
I know, but this was announced before that. They did it out of order. If she would have been going out and giving Sheeta shit and then they announced it, that would be one thing. But the fact that they announced it and then Toni Storm started doing this, it's backwards.
Okay, so what's the next match you have a beef with? Let me see, because I haven't agreed so far with any of your beefs. So let me see.
Let's see. Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley. This I'm okay with.
Moxley got hurt.
Yeah, I'm okay with this because Moxley lost his title and he wants it back. And Orange Cassidy has it. Even though he lost it to Phoenix, Orange Cassidy has it. And that's where he's going. I'm fine with Moxley and Cassidy. But don't forget,
Moxley he called out Phoenix.
Yeah.
He's just coming after, remember he even said in his promo, he's only going after Orange Cassidy because he's just basically he's in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with Orange Cassidy and Jon Moxley. I'm fine with Orange Cassidy and Jon Moxley.
Okay.
Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, Nick Wayne, Sting, Darby Allin, and Adam Copeland. I love Christian Cage. I love what Christian Cage is doing.
You better watch what you say about this match.
But I feel like him and Darby is starting to teeter into Sami Zayn Judgment Day territory, where I feel like this has gone on just about long enough. I love what they're doing. I do.
Yeah.
But I'm ready for Christian to talk shit about someone else.
Who would you have rather had Adam Copeland? Who would have made sense storyline for Adam Copeland to team up with? Because it makes sense for me to Sting and Darby Allin to be teamed up with Adam Copeland against them. because they keep coming after Sting and Darby Allin.
No,
Who would you have?
That's fine. I'm just saying I hope this is it for Christian and Darby Allin because I'm ready for Christian and Darby both to move on to new things. I hope this is the end for that.
Okay.
I think we're building towards. I think we're going to get Christian and Adam Copeland one-on-one at Double or Nothing. I think that's coming.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely coming, if not before Double or Nothing, because Double or Nothing's all the way in May. So we're probably going to do it before then.
Okay.
But I'm ready for Christian and Darby to be done feuding because I feel like they've been at it for a while now.
I didn't even register it because it's different. Like Adam Copeland's involved and like there's more to it. So I didn't think anything of it. I thought it made sense because Nick Wayne.
It does make sense. I'm just ready for it to be it for
You're
this.
just being extra picky.
No, I'm not. Listen.
You are being extra picky.
How long have Christian Cage and Darby Allin feuded?
I honestly don't know. I haven't been really paying
attention.
attention
It's
to
been like 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
Only 3 months.
That's
if you go back to WWE, people feud much longer than 3 months.
Yeah, like Sammy and the Judgment Day, and I had a problem with that too.
But I'm just saying 3 months is only like 3 months.
Yeah. But you're not going I'm just done with this. I'm done with this story. I'm ready for them to move on.
You wanted me to foster discussions. That's what I'm doing.
I did.
And I think I'm winning every discussion.
No, there's no winning. There's no winning here. But yeah, Full Gear kind of just feels a little bit on repeat for me. And I understand. I get what you're saying about Hangman and Swerve. I will concede you Hangman and Swerve. We have done enough to justify a second match.
Yes.
I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure there's something different with it, like a stipulation.
You're going to get Prince Nana dancing.
I will never turn that down. But everything else, like
I can. The only one that I will give you is the Toni Storm and Sheeta match. That's the only one that I will give you. Out of all of your issues, that's the only one I will give you that I could see your side of it.
Okay. Well, then I guess we'll agree to disagree. I want to switch up now because we've had a couple disagreements already today. But let's transition into something that I know we both agree with.
Okay.
Both nights of Halloween Havoc for NXT were a lot of fun.
Yes, they were.
Night 1 was great. Night 2 had a lot going on with it. So we had the Creeds, and it seems like it's the Creeds' last match in NXT because they have been called up. That's an excellent call. I can't wait to see the Creeds.
I'm not going to lie that the Creed brothers are very boring to me. I have said that before, but they had a very good match on Halloween Havoc Night 2.
Yeah, that Tables, Ladders, and Scare match with Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza. That was a hell of a match to go
I wasn't
on.
expecting much out of it, honestly.
That was,
whenever they came out, I was just like, oh.
Yeah, this kind of felt like a match that was like, oh, this could be fun. This match ruled.
It was really good.
This match ruled.
Yes.
Definitely ruled. And there were a lot of fun Halloween-themed matches. Like Chelsea Green and Natty put on a ridiculous match on Raw. Sheeta and Abaddon on Collision.
And they were both fun. If I had to pick one, I would pick Abaddon and Sheeta. But they were both fun matches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, also on night 2, we had Hayes and Dragunov 3, which I know what you're going to say. It's a trilogy, and you're fine with this one. I am, because I don't think Ilya Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes know how to put on a bad match with each other.
See, I was kind of like, I don't like trilogy matches. I get bored with trilogy matches. So I was just kind of like, but I liked how it ended.
Yeah. Yeah, because what happened was it looked like Carmelo was going to win, and then Trick Williams comes out, and then we don't know. Does Trick suspect that Carmelo was the one that jumped him?
He looked pretty angry when he came out.
But before we could figure that out, Baron Corbin just couldn't help himself and jumped Ilya Dragunov backstage.
Baron Corbin just ruins everything. Ask Vince.
Yeah. And I feel bad. Like, I like Baron Corbin. I think Baron Corbin is perfect at what he does. He is great at what he does. But God damn it, I didn't care that he jumped Ilya. I wanted to see where the Mello and Trick thing was going. But, that's what it is. That's NXT. I think you said it. NXT always ends on a cliffhanger.
They do.
They always end on a reason that's like, shit, I'm going to have to watch next week.
Yes.
Not that I wouldn't watch anyway, but, Yeah, I can't say enough about it. If you're not checking out NXT, you're missing out.
Yeah.
You're missing out. If you're leaving NXT out of your watch party, you're missing out.
Yes, for sure.
We had the return of Wes Lee, who is going after Dominic Mysterio, which hopefully he'll take the title back off Dom, because I'm tired of Dom as North American Champion because his matches go the same way. We've already discussed that, so I'm moving on.
Get over it.
I am over it now.
What is it? Build a bridge and get over it.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Cry yourself a river, build a bridge, and get over it.
Oh, I ain't crying over nothing.
Oh, well, you sure are whining a lot.
Damn, harsh.
So funny.
But yeah, I think NXT's coming out of Halloween Havoc set up really well. I think we're getting Carmelo out of the title picture, which I think is good. He can move on to something else. Mm-hmm. Braun Breaker is going to go back after Von Wagner, and this feud's just not really doing it for me. I think there's more stuff Braun could be doing.
Yeah.
I'm ready for Braun to go to the main roster, I think is what's going on. I think Braun at this point is just... I need to see him mixing it up with main roster people. There's nobody really left in NXT for him to interact with that I would be super interested in.
I thought he was going to go to the main roster because he was showing up on the main roster some, like doing like backstage segments, but I guess that was just to build a feud.
That's not a knock on NXT at all. There's just no one in NXT that I'm excited to see him mix it up with anymore. Like, I think it would help if maybe there was a face North American champion that wasn't Dom. But, like, maybe if he would have feuded with... If they would have kept Trick champion and he feuded with Trick Williams, that could have been fun.
Yeah.
That I think I would have been interested in. But we're clearly going a different direction with Trick, and that's fine. Trick and Mello feuding, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I like when friends implode. I'm here for that old wrestling trope. Especially when it's over a title, and the title comes between friendship. I eat that shit up. I'll take that all day. Especially guys like Trick and Mello that are so close they're practically brothers.
Yeah.
Extra helpings of that for me, please. But I think Halloween Havoc set up NXT to go in a really fun direction, and I'm as always, I'm excited to tune in and see what the new direction is, because we've built some new feuds, we've resolved some things, and it's funny. Halloween Havoc wasn't a premium live event, but it certainly felt like one.
It did, yeah.
And NXT does great. AEW used to be really good at this, where their special TV dynamites felt different. And I feel like NXT has kind of surpassed them with that. With Gold Rush that happened earlier this year and Halloween Havoc that happened this week and last week. I think NXT is starting to become the master of the weekly special feeling, or the weekly special feeling extra.
Yeah.
So, good on NXT. I still think, I know right now, for Booker of the Year, I know Meltzer has said that Bloodline story alone is enough for Triple H to get it. Sorry, Shawn Michaels is Booker of the Year.
I agree with that.
He took an NXT that nobody was interested in because they had neutered it all to hell and turned it into a children's show, essentially. And it's become really compelling TV again. NXT for me is must watch every week.
Yeah.
And NXT still has those things that they do and they don't work, but when they land, they land solid.
Yeah.
And even when it's a miss, they're good at dropping it pretty quickly.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Yeah, so Halloween Havoc, good things. Watch both nights. There's great stuff both nights.
Yes.
Honestly, I couldn't pick between night 1 and night 2 which one I thought was better. I thought both had very high highs.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, so
agreed.
Check out Halloween Havoc if you haven't. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about, I want to jump back over to AEW. I want to talk about the Elite. So you alluded to it earlier. Hangman, Chase, Swerve. They lost their Ring of Honor 6-man titles. Which your first question was, why did they win them in the first place?
They had them for a week, so like, why not just let the team? I can't. Who was it? Mogul Embassy. Why not just let them keep it? Because isn't that who they beat them?
That's who they beat.
So they beat Mogul Embassy, had it for like a week or two, and they lost it back to Mogul Embassy. Couldn't we have told this story without the Bucks getting this title?
Yeah, you would think.
Or the league getting this title. Like, I just don't see the point in it of them having this title.
I see it more now
as like a story
after the segment that they had with Kenny and Jericho. So, let's talk about Kenny Omega for a minute. First of all, that match on Collision with MJF was
amazing.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
That was phenomenal business.
Yes. We should probably take a moment of silence, though, to mourn how Kenny Omega's pink feathers fell off one shoulder, because Kenny Omega looked at that for a good 30 seconds, I feel, if not longer, just mourning the fact that, because he was dressed up as Bret Hart, the Kenny Omega version of Bret Hart.
Yeah.
And so he had these really extravagant feathers on his shoulders, and he's getting in the ring, one of the feathers falls off, and he just looks at it for a long time. He just stares at the feathers.
Yeah.
So I think we should take a moment of silence for that.
Oh, okay.
Moment is over.
Moment's over.
You clicked your pen during the moment of silence, but whatever, I guess.
At least I'm not one of those jack-offs that starts a chant during the 10-bell salute.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a video about that. I can't remember who it is. It's Eddie Kingston. They do a 10-bell salute for Eddie Guerrero at an indie show, and somebody starts like chanting during it or something. Eddie Kingston loses his
Doesn't
shit.
he get the fan kicked out?
Yeah.
He kicked the fan out of the show.
He's like, get that mother effer the F out of here. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But I can understand why. Like, Eddie Kingston loves wrestling, and he will not tolerate any disrespect towards it.
Yes.
Eddie Kingston's my spirit animal, man. But anyway, back to the Elite. So the Bucks are understandably a little frustrated. Hangman cost them their title. Kenny's been doing all this stuff by himself, like with Don Callis' family, and he's kind of put his line in with Jericho. And the Bucks are a little irritated because they're like, oh, I thought getting the Elite back together meant we were going to have each other's backs and things were going to happen. So I kind of like that we're doing something with the Bucks because I know one of the biggest criticisms of AEW is that they don't tell stories. And one of the criticisms of the Bucks is that they never do anything different. So I like the idea that we're going to try to do a story with the Bucks.
Yeah.
That's going to actually be a story that's going to do something. Because I get the criticism that it seems like the Bucks are the Bucks and have been for years.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
And we've probably already done this story with the Elite in turmoil, but I didn't watch New Japan in the early 2010s, so I'm fine with this. I want to see how this plays out.
It's something for fun being the Elite episode.
I like that Jericho is there. Like, Jericho's not a bad guy, but he's still a prick. So, like, he's kind of like poking the bear of the Bucks that are already a little raw about emotions.
Yeah.
He's still trying to get himself ingratiated with Kenny because they're kind of united in their mission against Don Callis.
Yeah.
Kenny and Don Callis is, I know I'm going to sound like a broken record. Kenny and Don Callis is another feud for me that I'm just about done
I agree.
with.
I agree.
You're going to agree with me on that
I
one.
do agree with
Okay.
that one. I'm ready for them to just go their separate ways. This has been going on for a little too long.
Yeah, I want Don Callis to move on from Kenny Omega. I want Don Callis to become a thorn in MJF's side, and I want them to chase the world title.
And don't get me wrong, I love Don Callis and his family.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just so tired of them going after Kenny Omega.
Yeah, it's giving me very, chasing the X vibes. Like, you broke up with them, but then you're obsessed with still having them in your life kind of vibes is what I'm getting. Yeah. And maybe that's done on purpose. I don't know.
Maybe.
But finally, a feud we agree on that maybe has overstayed its welcome.
Yes.
Because the first match for this was either at All In or right before All In, and that was back in August, and here we are in November. Like, I'm ready for this to be done.
Well, it's only been 3 months, though.
So I'm hoping what would happen...
You just chose to ignore me there.
Sometimes it's not the time itself. Sometimes it's...
I just feel like it's been a lot longer than 3 months.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. I thought you were going back to, it's only been 3 months.
No, I just feel like it's been longer.
I think that Kenny feuding with the Bucks is an interesting way to kind of move on from Don Callis and give Kenny something else to have to worry about before then. I like the idea of Jericho kind of being in Kenny's ear and kind of being rude to the Bucks, but not being outright villainous. I do like that. Jericho is king shit stirrer. He always has been. So I think that role suits him well.
It does, yeah.
Also, he's not in the front seat like he has been for his whole AEW career. This is almost a chance for him to not be necessarily a background character, but more of like a background influence on the story rather than the very front. Because I think Jericho's at that point now where he can start kind of taking back seats and being like internal parts of feuds rather than the face of the feud.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes. I'm interested to see where Hangman plays a part. I could see Swerve kind of getting in here and poking the bear as well.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm interested to see where this goes, and I like that we're trying to do something with the Bucks that's story driven. We haven't really had that since the Bucks kind of let Hangman beat Kenny for the title, which was a couple years ago. So I think it's high time that we do something with the Bucks that's like meaningful story.
Yeah.
So
Agree.
I'm happy to see that.
Yes.
All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is something that is near and dear to you. I want to talk about women's wrestling.
Yes.
I have specifically noted the AEW women, but this can kind of be...
I think WWE women also are
thing.
kind of... Minus NXT. NXT does really good booking their women, in my opinion.
Let me just say that I'm excited that Charlotte right now is in a story that doesn't involve the title.
I know.
It involves the tag titles.
Yes.
But if she wants to go for those, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yes.
That also being said, I really hope that Io doesn't get beat by Bianca, but it wouldn't surprise me if it happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, the one I wanted to focus on was the AEW women. And what frustrates me about the AEW women is they don't frustrate me. Their booking frustrates me.
Yeah.
They have a lot of really good female characters that have gotten a chance to kind of shine. Like, hell, even like Saraya was on Rampage this week. When was the last time we saw Saraya?
Yeah.
Like, and she was like, you built an entire title reign on just her winning it in her home country, and then she just disappeared? Like, I don't know why Tony Khan can't book women. I don't know if it's because he has no interest in women's wrestling or what it is, but like, you've got some good things to build off of. Like, if I just make a list right now, you've got Willow, you've got Julia Hart,
Abaddon.
You've got Abaddon.
She could get over. People like her.
You've got Toni Storm. You've got Hikaru Shida. You've got Ruby Soho. You've got Saraya. You've got
Britt Baker.
Britt
She's
Baker.
been around for a while, but
yeah, you've got. That's just 8 women that I listed off the top of my head.
You've got Julia Hart. You've got Statlander.
I got Julia Hart listed.
Oh, you've got Sky Blue, who's doing like this story where she's more aggressive now.
Emi Sakura.
I was gonna say Emi Sakura.
Nyla Rose, Marina Shafir, like that. Just in that 30 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 women that you could potentially make interesting, just off the top of my head.
Yes.
And you can't find time for more than 3 or 4 a week between 5 hours of programming?
Yeah, 3 shows.
That's all you got?
I literally kept track of what went down on Collision. Mm-hmm. And I didn't do it for the other shows, but I kind of want to start keeping track of the other shows because I love women's wrestling. Mm-hmm. I don't see why people aren't more on board with them. They can do the same thing as men. Mm-hmm. They're literally trained the same way. Like, they train together, men and women.
They can have matches that are just as good.
Yeah. Watch the indies. Women are brutal in indie matches.
One of my favorite matches that I've got to see live is Trish and Becky's match at Payback.
I thought Trish was going to fall off the top of this. Oh my God.
That's one of my favorite matches I've ever seen live. It's definitely my favorite women's match I've seen.
And I was kind of worried about that one too, but it was good.
That was the one that was the exception. That it was like the feud's gone on long enough, but damn, what a match it went out on.
Yeah.
Like that match had to be a feud. It should have happened at SummerSlam, but I'm not going to complain because I got to see it live.
Well, on Collision, we had the one women's match, so it was Abaddon versus Shida. And it was a fun match. Mm-hmm. Like, Abaddon, you need to use her more. Don't just have her come out for Halloween. Like, I get she's like this, like, zombie girl, like, living dead girl, but, like, people back her for not seeing her. She got a reaction. Mm-hmm. So, like, use her more. But anyway, you had that match. You had one backstage segment. Mm-hmm. And then you had Toni Storm coming out after the match, being all timeless Toni Storm-like. Mm-hmm. I just want to take a moment and talk about Toni Storm now. Mm-hmm. My favorite thing that she's done recently is get up on the commentator's table and pull an orange out of her butt. Like, I don't know. She's just so funny to me right now.
I was thinking too, we didn't even mention she's hurt right now, but Jamie Hayter.
Oh, yeah.
But listen, one of the chief complaints I hear about AEW is all their characters are the same. I wrestle good. That everybody's thing with AEW is that most of their characters are, I wrestle really well. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 different women that are 14 different characters.
I was going to say, I don't think that's true at all, where everybody wrestles good as that's their gimmick.
No, but that's one of AEW's big criticisms is a lot of people's gimmick is just, I wrestle really well. But look at this. Do you look at this list of 14 women? Do you see any two characters that are the same?
No.
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 They ironically probably have more character in their women's division than they do their men's division.
Yeah.
And their women's division is the one that goes on the back burner.
Yeah.
And, they're interesting. The women that you have are interesting. If you had given a shit, you'd probably still have Jade Cargill, or at least would have a better shot at keeping her.
Yeah.
And you're going to let her go to WWE, and what you've done is you're going to let WWE make Cody Rhodes and Jade Cargill the faces of their company.
Yeah.
And you had them.
Which I kind of get annoyed at Cody Rhodes because they use Cody Rhodes purposefully to impact AEW. And it's just like, Cody, you helped build that company. Why are you okay doing that? That kind of gets under my skin a little bit because it's like I thought it was his like little baby that he created. But now he's just like, well, I don't care. I'm just going to do stuff to go against him all the time.
Well, I mean, you'll do a lot if the paycheck's right.
I guess so. I guess I've never been in that.
Cody's human. He's motivated by money like the rest of us. I'm not saying that gives him a pass, because I agree there are times that I feel a little icky about it too.
Yes.
Especially the way that he lets WWE talk about AEW doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
It's one of my few criticisms of Cody is I think that
you helped build this company that you're okay people shitting on.
Yeah, I think you should be a little more, you don't have to praise them on WWE program. I'm not saying that, but
just don't be involved.
Yeah,
in things that are actively everybody knows is against AEW.
Yeah, like if they ask you to be on a show that's aired opposite of AEW, that's fine. Do what you have to do.
Yes,
but you don't have to watch them point and laugh at AEW while it's happening.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you have friends there. AEW talent have friends in WWE, and it's just. I think tribalism is the worst thing in wrestling.
I was going to say, I get it. It's just that's a wrestling thing. But I think it just bugs me the most because WWE are elitists in the wrestling world.
Yeah.
You're the only one that won't work with others. But yet you tout that you're the best. But yet you're on an island by yourself. That just gets under my skin.
Yeah.
And the fans, I think, are the same way sometimes.
Yeah.
The hardcore WWE fans...
Don't
at me if you're one of those people, but they're very much like
they gatekeep.
They do.
Yeah, AEW is the same way.
And I don't get it.
Yeah, I've seen posts on wrestling boards where somebody will bring up a comparison to WWE, and somebody will be like, "This is an AEW thread. Get that crap out of here." And it's like, it's not.
It's wrestling.
Yeah, and WWE is not crap anymore. They're putting out a good product.
They are.
Arguably, their product's better than AEW's right now. I think you could legitimately make that argument. For both main roster and NXT.
Yeah, I would agree with that one now.
Because
they kind of teeter back and forth, and I think right now WWE has the edge.
They do.
I feel like
actually AEW has edge.
I was like, what is so funny in what I said? But yeah.
It's the unintentional pun that you made.
But back to the women, though, we got distracted. But the women, they can be used better. So I'm going to make it my mission. I don't know if any of you will care, but every week I'm going to make it my mission to just kind of focus on how much women are used in both companies. Not just, I'm not going to single out anybody. But I just want to see. I don't even know if I should count NXT, though.
I feel like NXT's going to run away with it.
Yeah.
I saw a post the other day that said that they feel like that in NXT, the women are the main focus and the men take the back seat.
I could see that.
And I can't dispute that.
Because I think the women typically have more matches or they're just showed more.
Yeah.
They have, I don't know, they just have more
there's
stories.
If there's not a lot of matches on the card, there's a lot of segments with the women.
Yeah.
Especially backstage. How many segments does NXT do where it seems like they're in the NXT women's locker room?
A lot,
yeah.
It's always somebody trashing one person.
We're always there. I feel like we spend more time there than in the NXT parking lot.
Yeah.
So, AEW, you have no excuse. You have 14 distinct women that I have listed
and that's not including everyone, I'm sure.
No, I'm missing a lot of people.
I'm sure we've forgotten a lot of people.
If you dip into Ring of Honor, you've got Athena that could go on this list. Mercedes Martinez. The list could go on. I could come up with... You could build a decent promotion out of the women in AEW.
And the female wrestlers involved have even come out. Statlander has come out recently and been I encourage the fans to keep voicing your opinions on how women need to be booked better because she wants women to get more time. So, like, even the women realize we're getting the short end of the stick.
Yeah. Well, Statlander, I'm doing my part. I just pointed out there are 14 distinct people that have different characters that you could build this division around. And all of these characters you could tell an interesting story.
You could. Maybe not Shafir as much. But actually, she had a match against Sky Blue, and she had more personality.
Dude,
so
Shafir,
I'm giving her credit.
Shafir,
I'm going to back off with her a little bit.
Shafir would be easy. Just make Shafir kind of, I don't want to use knockoff, but make Shafir your Shayna Baszler.
She's not a knockoff. She was part of the Four Horsewomen.
So
with her.
She could be that because look, do any of these other women fit the bill of ex-UFC world ender? No, Shafir can.
True.
So look, we even made Marina Shafir more interesting.
You're welcome, AEW. Hire us.
Do it.
I'll help you book the women's division.
Yeah, hire somebody.
I would love to hang out with the women's division. I could get to hang out with Renee Paquette.
This irritated me before, but now that I've listed them out and seen how they all have distinct characters, now I'm bordering and pissed off that we're not doing more.
It definitely, and that's kind of why I was starting to keep track a little bit. I didn't get past Collision, but I was wanting to keep track because I was just like, women do not get represented. And I've been saying that a lot on this podcast. The women need more representation, and if you think they can't wrestle, that's your problem.
And I want to
say, they can.
I want to say, do we learn nothing from when WWE ran Evolution? Did we learn nothing? Because that card, bang.
That was my favorite pay-per-view. I mean, granted, I love women's wrestling, but that was my favorite pay-per-view of the year.
You're not alone in that. You are not alone in that by any means. Yeah. That was people's favorite pay-per-view. And it was solid top to bottom. It was. Like, did we learn nothing from that experience? Yeah. NXT, I could see NXT doing it. I can see them doing a TV special. Hell, Halloween Havoc Night 1 damn near was a whole women's show.
Yes.
So, and the argument is the women aren't a draw. Well, they're not going to be a draw if you keep making them a backseat.
Yes. Player. And so, and if you think that, you need to really go look at women's wrestling.
That's like.
You need to reevaluate how you think of women, I feel like, because if that's your case, you obviously don't understand that, they are doing it. You just must not be paying attention. You must not, And
LA Knight is a great example. Vince McMahon saw nothing in LA Knight. Triple H took over, was like, LA Knight, just go out and do your thing. And look where he's at in less than a year. Yeah. Because they just let him go out and be himself. Yeah. And be who he wanted to be. These AEW women are the same way. And you hear people, when their matches are good, they get the response. People get invested.
Yes.
But if you treat them as an afterthought, the fans will treat them as an afterthought.
And they've had good matches. We have that good, Julia Hart and
Statlander.
But also you didn't write her down, Anna Jay.
Yeah.
They had a good match, which you had Statlander. Was that Julia Hart also? Statlander and Julia Hart that put on the really good match.
Yeah.
So back whenever Hayter was the champion, she was putting on excellent matches. They can put on good matches. You just need to give them chances to.
Yeah. Absolutely. Look at what happened with
Sheeta's excellent. She needs more.
Look what happened to Ty Mello.
Yeah.
Ty Mello had a whole groundswell because you let her go out and wrestle and she got better and better. Yes. And then you put her with Sammy Guevara and nothing happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's frustrating because I can understand why these women are so frustrated.
Literally the year before she won most improved wrestler or something, and then she gets with Sammy Guevara and you're like, hey, let's just put them together, perfect. And then she hardly wrestled. Now she's pregnant and I don't know. Which she's even come out and said that she was kind of upset that she kind of wasn't. She was on every pay-per-view until they just stopped. She was kind of upset about it.
Yeah. The AEW needs to do more with the women. You have enough women. You have enough interesting women. You have 2 titles, but yet you only have 1 match per pay-per-view. Defend both fucking titles. Yeah. You can do 2 title defenses and a non-title feud. Because I'm sorry, I don't need to see the Ring of Honor tag titles be defended on an AEW pay-per-view. I hate to be that way, but Ring of Honor has its own shows.
Yeah.
If you want that stuff featured, then you need to do better at promoting Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And I know he tried. With Warner Brothers, but AEW has enough titles going on. There's enough people fighting for TV attention. I don't need Ring of Honor doing the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, But yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, we've made the case for AEW has literally, you just added in, who did you say?
Anna Jay.
Anna Jay. So she's different from everybody else too. So there's 15.
Is she different from everybody else though? Yeah, because she's kind of like I don't know what she does now.
She's a shit talker that can't back it up, but she thinks she can. So yeah, you have 15 distinct personalities here to build an excellent division around. With these personalities and give them the right time, you could rival NXT's women division.
You could.
You have the tools here to do it.
Because I'm so tired of people feeling that AEW women aren't that talented.
It's not the women's problem. It's a booking problem.
Yes.
It's a booking problem and it's a training problem.
Yeah.
So I want to wrap up today's video by we're just going to go through the card for Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel will have come and gone by the time this video comes out. But you can always look back on our video and see how right we were.
Yeah, because we're not going to watch it anyway, so you can tell us if we were completely wrong or if we were right.
Now, that being said, this card is really fun. I hate that this card is in Saudi Arabia because this would be an event I would look forward to any other time.
Yeah.
Because this is a fun card.
Yeah.
Especially, it kills me that LA Knight's lone title shots happen in Saudi Arabia. I know I could just get over it and watch his match. I probably won't because I know how it's going to end. So that being said,
let's do our predictions.
Let's break it down. So we have the undisputed WWE Universal Championship match, Roman Reigns versus LA Knight. Who you got? How do you think it's going down?
Roman Reigns, how it always goes down.
I would agree.
Yes.
I would agree. Solo probably won't make an appearance, but Jimmy will because Jimmy's not booked anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Jimmy.
Yeah.
My prediction, Jimmy will come out. Jay will come out to try to get Jimmy. LA Knight will still get cost the match because of some distraction there.
Yeah.
And the ref will probably go down at some point. So, that's one thing with this card. It's a great card, but it's a super predictable card to me.
Yeah.
The World Heavyweight Championship match. We've got Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. Who you got? How's it going down?
How's it going down? Oh, I don't want to predict that part. I won't do that. You can predict that. You are the storyteller.
Okay.
I think Rollins.
I think Rollins wins. Mm-hmm. That's how I'm going to play it out. I think Rollins wins. Drew goes ape shit and
finally turns
loses
heel.
It to turns full heel.
I'm ready for that.
Priest comes out and tries to cash in, and Drew McIntyre fucks up Damian Priest.
Okay.
And then McIntyre moving forward, he won't be a face, but he also won't align himself with heels. Yeah, he'll be more of a tweener. I would agree with that.
Okay.
Next match is John Cena versus Solo Sikoa. This is one of the ones that I'm not sure about.
I think Solo's going to win.
And let me just say, I think John Cena in his return has been fantastic. I love, oh man, do I have it anymore, John Cena.
Yeah.
I love how he comes off as he's in the twilight of his career. He's pulling in all the support that he can. He knows the crowd's behind him, but he doesn't know if he's good enough to have them be behind him. This is a very interesting John Cena, and I think John Cena, honestly, I think the way that he treats his reactions and stuff, it kind of shows that he's been around other actors because I feel like his acting is pretty decent.
Yeah.
He looks like, and he had a promo with Solo last night on SmackDown, and he told Solo, he said, I have half a voice, and I'm going to cook you in 90 seconds. And that's exactly what he did. And it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Solo, somebody should have warned Solo that was coming.
Yeah, whenever I saw Solo have the microphone against John Cena, I was like, you don't stand a chance.
Yeah, especially since Solo doesn't talk much.
Yeah.
But Solo doesn't have to talk. Solo talks with his actions, which is fine. That works for him.
Yeah.
I have seen so many ideas floated. I've seen where this is where Cena finally gets his win. I've seen where the theory is that Cena gets squashed. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's either one of those. I think Solo's going to win, but I think it's going to be Cena's going to put up a hell of a fight. And I hope this isn't his goodbye. I don't think it is. I think Cena has to go down chasing title number 17. Mm-hmm. I think that's how he has to go down. Mm-hmm. Because it's either win and hold the record or lose and lose your career.
Yeah.
I think it fits him.
Yeah.
After that, we have the Women's World Championship Fatal 5-Way, which is Rhea Ripley, Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, and Raquel Rodriguez. I think Rhea wins. Yes. I think Rhea should win clean. I think Rhea wins after throwing Nia out of the ring and pinning someone.
I really hope that Nia doesn't hurt anybody. And I know I'm being harsh, maybe she's improved. It's just, I don't trust Nia Jax. I loved Nia Jax. She was representing the bigger girls. But then she just kept injuring people. And it's like, people. And it's just like, she's clearly not safe to work with. So that's a concern. And I kind of feel like she just gets where she is because she's The Rock's relative.
So basically, you'll take the line from Cena's promo and say, we all know you only have a job here because of your cousin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was a real line that Cena said to
And I
Cena.
kind of feel like this isn't really related, but I kind of feel like the same happens with Charlotte Flair. She just gets pushed because of who her dad is.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to take anything away from Charlotte Flair. I get she's very talented.
I
just don't think she would push as much if she wasn't Ric Flair's daughter.
I wonder if Ric Flair being in AEW is going to affect Charlotte's booking in any way.
I doubt it.
You don't think so?
I don't think Triple H is going to be vindictive. Now, if Vince was in charge, yes. But with Triple H, I don't think so.
I don't know.
I mean, he's been around Ric Flair for years and years and years. I don't.
That's true.
If this is going to be what pushes me over the edge with Ric Flair, there's an issue.
Well, he also was really respectful about Edge leaving.
Yeah.
So
I don't think Triple H is as vindictive as Vince was. So I think it'll be fine.
Fair enough. The WWE Women's Championship match. Io Sky versus Bianca Belair. God,
I hope it's Io. I don't want Rhea to win it again. She had it.
Bianca?
She just had it for so long. I don't want her to get it back.
I'm really thinking they're going to put it back on Bianca because they're going to want her to have it when her and Montez Ford's show debuts on Hulu. I think they're going to want her to have it.
Or just have her turn heel and work with them. Just have her turn heel and work with them. But I think
she needs to turn heel, but I don't think they will.
Well, I think they have another girl that wants to work with. Who was the girl that came up to Bobby Lashley this week and was like, "I need to talk to you"? Yeah. So I mean, that would give B-Fab a good place to kind of go after her team self-destructed.
It would. I really would like to see Bianca go heel, but they love to use Bianca for publicity, so I don't see that happening. But they use Roman for publicity. Actually, they haven't really used Roman as much. It's been Cody.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have a bad
Charlotte Flair is a face. They can use her for publicity again.
I don't know why they don't.
They used to.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I don't know.
But yeah, I want Io to win, but I'm thinking it could be Bianca. Bianca lost her title in Saudi Arabia. So they might have her win it back in Saudi Arabia and tell the story that last time she was here was when her title reign came to an end. I could see Michael Cole saying that now.
Yeah.
Next is the United States Championship match between Rey Mysterio and Logan Paul. This is the other match that I'm not sure about.
I think Logan Paul.
I think it's Logan Paul too. And I don't know how I feel about SmackDown having two part-time champions unless Logan Paul's in it for the long haul. He hasn't been. I don't see any reason for him to be. I think he's got way too many plates going on. But, I could see WWE doing this. They've already flirted with giving Logan Paul a title, and, having Logan Paul beat Rey Mysterio isn't
How would you feel if Logan Paul gets it for, LA Knight to take it away?
I think you could make that work. But I think you would have to... I feel like Logan Paul would have to be there at least every other week.
Yeah.
And I think Logan Paul would do that.
Yeah.
He seems to like this enough that he would want to be present.
Yeah.
And you and I have said this on this show before. If Logan Paul wanted to make this his full-time career, and this is all he wanted to do, he could go down as one of the greats.
He could. I don't like him as a person by any means, but I can admit that he's good at wrestling, even though I don't like him.
Yeah, his talent speaks for itself.
Yes.
He's very, very good in the ring.
Yeah.
The next one is Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest.
I think Rhodes is going to win.
I think...
Well, Judgment Day is always interfering.
Judgment Day is always interfering. Dom is not booked. And I made a mistake earlier. I said it was Sami Zayn and Dom on the pre-show. It's Sami Zayn and JD McDonough, but the point still stands. It's a Judgment Day person.
Yeah.
Dom is not booked. Rhea is busy, but I don't think they need Rhea. Dominic, I think, would work. Finn's not booked.
And I'm sure Finn at least will go out with him.
Yeah.
But it's Cody Rhodes, though. I think Cody will win.
You think so?
I'm going for it. I'm going for that bold prediction. My gut tells me it's not going to be him, but I'm going for that bold prediction.
I think if Cody wins, Priest will try his cash in. If Priest wins, he won't try it. Which I know is weird, but it's just the feeling that I get.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't try it at that Saudi show.
Or if at least he tries it, it gets thwarted and he doesn't lose his briefcase.
Yeah.
But
at least WWE put it on your YouTube so I can watch it go down.
Yeah, it definitely seems like WWE's committed to having influential things happen at Saudi. That's when we had the super kick heard around the world.
And that's very telling. I get you're trying to get people to watch it, but
yeah.
I'll do a lot, but I won't watch.
Don't do the Damian Priest cash in. You have Logan Paul win the US title and do it that way. Make that be your moment that happened on the show.
Yeah.
Have it be that.
Yeah.
Not the cash in. The cash in should be saved for something else.
Yes.
I think still there's a chance that Priest cashes in at Mania on Cody after he beats Roman. I think there's still a possibility.
Yeah.
And the last match, the kickoff match, Sami Zayn and JD McDonough. I think Sami Zayn wins this because JD McDonough is with the Judgment Day, but he's not ingratiated enough that he's winning matches.
Yeah, maybe Dom will come out there with him. Dom seems to help JD McDonough more than the others.
JD still hasn't won with Dom helping him.
I know, but I'm just saying maybe Dom will be out there still.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the Crown Jewel card. Like I said, I think it's a good card. I think there's going to be some good matches. I think it's a mostly predictable card. Especially, as much as I hate to say it, I don't think LA Knight has a snowball's chance in hell.
No.
But the ride's been fun, and LA Knight has really gone toe-to-toe with Roman. And I think LA Knight has done enough that I don't think he's done in the main event scene.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a title at some point in his future.
I subscribe to the fact that he might beat Logan Paul for the U.S. title at Mania, and that would be a great way to push him back into the main title feud around SummerSlam. And that's going to do it for our show today. So Crown Jewel is today. Like I said, we won't be watching it, but this show, this will have gone up after Crown Jewel. So make sure that you like and subscribe.
Because I think honestly, right now,
Crown Jewel starts in an hour from where we are now.
I thought it started at 10.
Starts at 1. Starts at 10 on the West Coast.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Crown Jewel will be done. So a lot of our Crown Jewel talking points will be old, but you can look back and see how right we were. But don't forget to like and subscribe. Find us on the socials, on Facebook at Figures and Flippy Shit Wrestling Podcast, and on Instagram at Figures and Flippy S.
On Facebook and Instagram are Figures and Flippy S.
Oh, that makes sense. They're both the same company. So find us on there. Leave a comment on any of the topics that we discussed, any topics that you want us to discuss. Fantasy books and AEW women's feuds. Tony Khan's not doing it, so you might as well do it on our page. But yeah, until next week, we will see you guys then. Enjoy your wrestling, and until next time.
Later.
Did you like that video? Like, subscribe, and comment to the Figures and Flippy Shit Wrestling Podcast. Oh, yeah.